In this Gold Belt video, I will be showing how to test a shareable package in Java. I have the project open for testing existing functionality for shareable package in Java here. We're going to be processing subscriptions, and again, much like the C# video, there's a few different ways to find out how do you test a shareable package. Unlike other applications where you're either going to have a main method or you're going to have web entry points, endpoints that you can call into. In the class library, we have to actually figure out how to call this. What are the public types? What are the public interfaces? How do we get into this class library in the first place? So starting off, we definitely want to start with our test. So here's our app test. I'm going to rename this. We'll call this process subscriptions test. And let's go and just uncomment these out since these look promising. I'll change this to star so we get all the assertion methods. Let's change our method here. This will be process subscriptions success. All right, so there, again, much like the C# video, there's a couple of different ways we can do this. I'm going to start off by exploring IntelliSense. So looking at this, we've got our package here. It's the same package name that we're going to have in our main code. So I'm going to start with that. We'll say go to the full name, and looking in this limits our IntelliSense. This limits the types that we have available. If I don't have this and I just start typing things, I get a whole bunch of different objects here. And that's going to confuse things up. It's not going to make a lot of sense in terms of what I'm looking for. So by having the package name here, it limits the IntelliSense. So my process subscriptions test here, that's this class. Obviously, that doesn't make sense. Remittance customer seems interesting. I'm not sure that it really makes a lot of sense to start with a customer since we're going to be processing a lot of them. But knowing that this is the watchdog processor, the watchdog processor class makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to choose that. And now from here, the first thing I want to see is there a constructor that I can use to create one of these? So I'll say new, open parentheses, and it looks like it does have a constructor. So let's take a look at it. However, the constructor is private. So even if I were to call into this, the IntelliSense is a little off because this is a private method. I'm not going to be able to invoke this. So doing this through a constructor, newing one up, doesn't make a lot of sense. My next recourse is to see, is there a static method? So if I just call the class itself and say dot, and I'm going to kill the namespace or the package name at this point since we don't need it, we'll see there certainly are three static methods, three overloads to the same method, process subscriptions. One of them takes no arguments. That seems really promising. So looking at this is going to return us a watchdog processor, which is very much what we're looking for. From here, there's an overload that takes a through date and another overload that takes a through date and a start date. So a lot of different flexibility there in terms of how I can call into this. So looking at this code now, it's effectively going to be my processor equals process subscriptions. It's going to throw an exception, so let's go and propagate that exception there. And now all of this looks pretty good. Now I'm ready to do my assertions. So I can now check the get successful remittance customers or get remittance customers with errors, so I can do whatever assertions I need to do from here. So at this point, I'm ready to go. So that's one way. Again, that's using IntelliSense to just explore the package a little bit, explore the different types that are there, see if you can find something. The other way to do that is to actually go spelunking in the code. So we'll look inside our main here. We've got a couple of different classes inside the main. So we've got the remittance customer, we've got the watchdog processor. Generally, I'm not going to be looking at child namespaces. Chances are these namespaces don't have the root functionality. Root functionality, hopefully, usually, not always, is in the root namespace. So looking at that, we're going to let's look at the remittance customer. We've got this class here that has a private constructor, so we're not creating one publicly, and it's got a static method from result set. So again, that's not really what we're looking for because we already have to have a result set. So this is not our entry point class. Let's look at the watchdog processor. Again, the constructor is private, so we're not creating one here. However, looking down, we do have some public static methods, process subscriptions. So again, that's what we're looking for. That's how we're going to invoke this. So when we're looking at classes, we're looking to see, does it have a constructor? If it does not have if it has a public constructor, great, we'll start with that. Otherwise, we'll look and see if it has any static methods, public static methods that represent how we call into that thing. If it doesn't have either of those, that's not the entry point. We're looking for another class that helps us get started.